If you're in a dry spell in your relationship and you want to get out of it, you have to first acknowledge that you're in a dry spell.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you're joining us. Around here we talk about real life relationships, marriage, friendships, boundaries, and all the in between. And today we're talking about something every long-term couple faces eventually, but not enough people talk about, and that is dry spells. So I've stitched together some videos that we're all going to watch together, and on the other side, I'm going to be giving my insights on this topic. So please watch until the end. Without further ado, let us dive right in.
If you're in a dry spell in your relationship and you want to get out of it, you have to first acknowledge that you're in a dry spell. But this is where most couples go wrong and they actually end up prolonging the dry spell. I'm Vanessa Marin, I'm a licensed sex therapist, and let me tell you how to fix this mistake. Here's how it goes for most couples. When they bring up the dry spell, they talk about how long it's been since they last had sex. And inevitably, they end up getting into an argument about exactly how long it's been, and it goes nowhere. So here's what you do instead. When you bring it up, don't mention anything about the length of time. Instead, say something like, I know we've had a lot on our plates lately, and I'm really missing you, and I hope we can make some time to reconnect. There's nothing to argue about there, and it's gonna make your partner feel like you actually care about them. If you like this little tweak, then you have to listen to our Pillow Talks podcast, episode 48, which is all about how to get out of and prevent dry spells from happening. Check it out in the link in our bio or wherever you listen to podcasts.
One of my most frequently asked questions is, how do I get rid of this dry spell in my long-term marriage or long-term relationship? And honestly, I have some tips for you, but it starts with having the conversation. You gotta let your partner know that you want to be more intimate with them, that you're willing to put in the work if they're willing to put in the work, and that you want to build that desire that you guys once had at the very beginning of your relationship. And are they willing to put the work in with you to explore and figure out what the new kinks are, what the new fetishes are, and what the new exploring playtime is going to be? But if this wasn't enough to get you to kickstart that conversation and have the difficult conversation that does not need to be so damn difficult, head here and at 8 p.m. you will have a video on how to end your dry spell.
Are you in a dry spell at home in the bedroom with your spouse? Well, here's a 3-minute game that can reignite passion, connection, intimacy, and maybe even inspire a little bit of sex today.
So we use that for this, dry spells. We also use it if we've just been apart for a while, or maybe we've had a fight or disconnect. It's a way to kind of reconnect and warm up to that reconnection. I personally love it because there's a structure to it, and the structure helps me get out of my head and be fully present in my body, making our connection better.
There's some really great things to this. Number one, it's gonna help me get clear on what it is that I want. Number two, it's gonna help me get really clear on how to communicate that, and then how to also give feedback to my spouse. And the last thing that I absolutely love about this is that it's gonna help me to, what is it?
I don't remember. I thought it was your breath.
Third thing, it's gonna help me get really present in this receiving, which is such a beautiful, yummy spot to be.
Now, before you start, you're going to negotiate. Is this going to be a PG version or
You could go with PG-13, go to a little third base. You could go to R.
Best if you negotiate that ahead of time, though, so
Yes.
people know the container.
No rule changes.
All right, so here's how you play. First thing is, there's gonna be 4 rounds to this. Each of them are 3 minutes. First round, I'm gonna ask, doesn't matter what you go first, how would you like me to touch you?
I would like you to touch my butt.
Okay, great. If that's been negotiated, PG-13 maybe. Great. So I will check in. Am I available for that? This is all consensual. Okay, yes, I'm available. Sure. Start the timer. 3 minutes. I can get feedback. Is this the right pressure? Blah, blah, blah.
I just get to be present with the butt touch.
I'm giving. He's receiving.
Next one is I ask her, how would you like to touch me?
So I'm still doing the touching.
I'm still receiving the touching.
But this time it's for me.
Her gift.
Yeah. So I might say like, oh, you've been working out, honey. I'd really like just to massage these biceps. He'll check in, see if he's available for that. Start the timer. Touch, right?
Yeah.
Then we switch. Now he's asking me how I would like to be touched. Again, he's the giver, I'm receiver.
How would you like me to touch you?
I would love you to rub my shoulders.
The old massage. That doesn't turn into babies.
And then the last one, I would ask him, how would you like to touch me?
And this is why we usually do this one last, because if we are open to allowing this to extend beyond the game, then I usually like to be given that lastly, you know.
All right, so it doesn't matter what order you go in, 4 rounds, each getting to be really fully present in whatever role you're playing and communicating with each other. giving, receiving feedback. Great game. Love it.
Have
Hope you have
fun.
fun with it.
Love you.
All right, now before we dive into this video, just a quick reminder for you to like this video and share it with someone who might find it helpful. And please leave a comment down below on what you think about the topic. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that every time a new video is uploaded, you're the first one to know. Now, those stretches where the spark is dim, the connection feels off, and it's like you're more roommates than partners. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's emotional, maybe both. But we're going to talk about it today: the why, the what, and most importantly, how to move through it. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get into navigating dry spells in a marriage. Now, what is a dry spell? Let's define it right up front. A dry spell in a marriage can show up in different ways. The first one is less intimacy or zero physical connection. And the second one is basically the lack of emotional closeness. Thirdly, when you feel like you're just going through the motions, and the last of many examples is no real communication beyond day to day tasks. And it's not always dramatic. Sometimes it creeps in slowly. Life gets busy, you stop prioritizing each other, and before you know it, it's been weeks or months since you've really connected, if you know what I mean. So, dry spells are normal, but they are not something to ignore. They become dangerous if left unchecked because distance becomes disconnection, and disconnection becomes resentment. Now, I know you're all asking, why do dry spells happen? So let's talk about the why, because it's not always about falling out of love. A lot of times it's about life. So here are some common causes. The first one is work. Not really work, but I mean to say stress. It could be work, finances, parenting. It all adds up. The little things add up, right? The second one is health issues. Physical and mental health both affect connection. Thirdly, miscommunication, unspoken needs as well as unresolved issues. The fourth one is exhaustion, plain old burnout, especially in marriages with kids. The last of many examples is complacency, getting too comfortable and not making an effort. So sometimes it's just two good people who've drifted apart for a season, and that's okay. It doesn't mean the marriage is over. It means you have to be intentional about finding your way back. Now, before we even get into the physical side of things, let's talk about emotional distance. Because you can't expect to be physically close when you don't feel seen emotionally. Are you guys talking about more than just bills and chores? Do you guys ask how the other person is really doing? And when is the last time you laughed together or shared something just for fun? If emotional connection is gone, you have to rebuild that first. Now, a practical tip that I can give you is small talk. Ask intentional questions. Sit down for 10 minutes with no phones and just talk. Not about the kids, not about schedules, about you too. Now, moving on, we're also going to talk about the physical side. Yes, intimacy matters. And let's be real, life is going to be lifing all the time. Sometimes you're touched out, sometimes hormones shift, sometimes you're just tired. But if there's Zero physical connection over time, it needs to be addressed gently. It doesn't always have to mean sex either. So, here are a few things that you can start with. You can start by holding hands or sitting close to each other, or random hugs and kisses, or saying, I miss you. Physical intimacy thrives on emotional safety and consistency. So if the flame has died down, you've got to slowly fan it back to life. And please don't take anything personally, but take it seriously. So here's something that that normally gets people in trouble. Taking the dry spell as rejection. It's easy to start creating a narrative like they don't want me anymore, or where you feel like you're not enough. But it's not always about you. It might be about them, their stress, their insecurities, their health. That doesn't mean your feelings don't matter, but it means don't go on the attack. Get curious, not defensive. So, in such a situation, you can ask questions like, is there anything you've been feeling that you haven't said? Or what do you need more of from me lately? Or how can I support you right now? So approach with care and not criticism. Now, if you've been a regular visitor on this channel, one thing you know for sure is that communication is everything. So if you're in a dry spell, you have to be able to talk about it. And I know those conversations can feel awkward or even scary, but silence only makes it worse. So be honest about how you feel without placing the blame. Use I statements like, I miss being close to you, or I've been feeling disconnected, or I want us to find our rhythm again. That opens the door for connection rather than shutting your partner down. So, on that note, I would like to thank everyone for watching today's video. I hope this gave you something to think about and maybe a little hope if you're in that dry season right now. Drop a comment below and let me know. Have you ever been through a dry spell in your marriage, and what helped you reconnect? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time for more real conversations about real relationships. From me, it's goodbye.